Okay, we are back. This time we're doing this is a fun one. If I remember right. It's a mix of like the paint, with the glass paint, and I have the spray sea glass paint. I really like that stuff. I wish you could get more colors, but I guess only like one or two sold well, or maybe they didn't sell well. And they're just trying to get rid of what's left. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna start out, and we're going to cover the bottle with tape. And if you haven't read title or haven't don't know, I decided to do snake, big slithery snake across it, just kind of experiments in different ways to do things. So yeah, I start out and I sketch it out in the pencil, and then once I get that kind of roughly done, I go. This is another example of start, kind of simple and then refine. I kind of go through and I'll make changes because I first kind of thought about it going around itself, like under bits. I was like, no, let me just have it go over. These can get complicated enough, I think, to follow. Although maybe in future I'll do I'll do more snakes. We'll do that. But yeah, just gonna go over and ink it out so it's easier to see, both for you watching at home and me when I was looking at it, cutting it. Because as you get older, your eyes aren't what they always used to be. Yeah, take your time doing this. Is very fast sped up. It's like 6 times and 300 to 600 times faster what I call it. Yeah, you get the idea. And now we just go through and take our time and cut it out exactly by a scalpel. You could do this either, depending on how you wanted to do it. To do it either way. But what I decided to do is I go through and I want the non-snake parts. That's the ones we're going to use the spray paint on. Get it? So yeah, we're just doing a mask with tape. Okay. You watch me cut tape. I'll be back in minutes. Talk some more. Just going to pop back in here for a second to talk about when they're cutting that. Making sure you have, not just sharp blade, but don't do like I have a bad habit of doing and just using like tip blade. Try to use, like as much of blade as you can. Keep, whole thing sharp. That way you're not just breaking off and wearing out chips as you go. And yeah, once again, just take your time as you go. I found it easier to cut off sections of tape as I went. Opposed to just doing it all. Although I guess if you did it all at one time, it'd get really cool. Okay, I just want to talk about that. I'll be right back. I tried to take footage of me spray painting it, but I was holding camera in hand. It's just, completely unusable. I don't know why I keep doing this. I have tripod's. Somewhere I have to dig. Well, no, I know where one is. But anyway, yeah, we're just pulling tape off now. When I do these, I think maybe you saw the ring bit. All right, take a second. Yeah, we're going to go over and lead around the lines that we didn't have paint on. One, this will help smooth out because in theory, when you spray paint, you should pull tape off before paint is all the way dry, but I almost never do that. So, do better than me on that one if you can. But either way, yeah. So the paint that I have, like the chain, like I used to hang with the lights in it. I have one of those that I don't know if I've done it yet. Now at this point, it's just my hang to spray paint chain. So I just run it like normal. And, I kind of have the bottle spinning and try to put on 2 to 3 coats. But yeah, we'll just go through it now. And you see me leading. I think we're done. I fill in the tongue. And then I have, this is ID, so we're looking at colors for snakes. But it takes me a second to realize what I want to do. So I end up redoing his face a couple of times, I think. But you'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is, instead of painting it in, I'm going to do this dot thing that I've used on a few things. It's like, look like scales. This one ends up coming out pretty good. As I've gotten better as I've done it more. but it gives it really neat texture, like one when it's not lit, and then when it is lit, as you'll see, it gives it good look. Although I think sometimes get it a bit thick, so it doesn't come through quite as much as I want it to. But yeah, we'll just go around and dot it all. All right, you watch me make dots. I'll be back in a minute.
Just sing it, say so long, goodbye forever. I heard it on the radio. It's pulling me up again, pulling me up again. Oh, so long, a phrase of new beginnings, the dawning of another day, taking you up again, taking you up again. Oh, oh. Say, so say it, say it, say it. So say it, say it.
All right, I've got about it. Like I said, I redid Face a few times. It's different ideas on how I want it to work. I go through it's pretty easy. Like this stuff's not necessarily waterproof, so when you clean it off, you have to be a little bit careful so you don't pull it all off. But yeah, I go in and give it a nice twist like this, and it'll come back. And then because their heads like the scales, in my opinion, have like this almost plate-like pattern, so that can be a little bit to do. But I end up getting it pretty well, I think, all in all. Another thing I do is, so I go through and I have the dark or the light green, and I'm going through with the dark, just kind of filling in around it on this one. Others I use dots. I think in future times, maybe when I do this sort of thing, instead of putting all the dots on of one color and the next, I should try to better think out the patterns. And then maybe do like you say, if I did ball python, like the darker bits, maybe kind of do those first, and then go through and having to wipe out the loopy, what is an art guy said to call them boogers. That's so sick. It is kind of what they are. But anyway, instead of going, kind of better plan out. Another thing you need to remember is if you put in too few dots, like you think you have too much empty space, you can come back later and add more. That's always the thing to remember when you're doing this. But yeah, just going through with the different green. I forget what color I use next, but you'll see it. Yeah, okay, I'll be back in a second. You enjoy this. Okay, so I just want to clarify colors I've used so far. First color is that leaf spring green, and then Kelly green, which I'm out there. Really need to find some more of. And this will be ivy green. It's a bit more, it's darker, and it's to have a bit more maybe gray or brown in it. Like it's not quite as bright and vibrant as the other two. But yeah, just going through and filling in some more areas, kind of carrying out the pattern a bit. I'm going to go through and I use this for the eyes. I end up doing the stripes and patterns. I record these. Usually I record them. I record them as I do it, because I do voiceover later. And then here with these, I've been making so many of these so fast that sometimes it's a little while since I did it. Yes, I think it's over a month ago. But anyway, at first I thought this was one of the yellows, but no, this is I think the amber that I go through with. I like the amber. I need to get more of it too. Once it goes through, then usually I'd have it to look over, but it's all packed up because I have things coming up like this weekend, and really kicking into gear for some stuff. Yeah, just go through and do kind of like triangles and stripes and bands and stuff. Just add a bit more pattern to it. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. We'll talk some more. Now I'm going back over. This is the citrus yellow. The other was the amber. You can see how it's kind of in the background there. I will say this is another reason I think I need to maybe plan out the patterns a little bit better, because you end up getting so much of this stuff on top of each other. It really will cut down on the transparency. But anyway, another thing is, and here you'll see me start in a minute also. Cut the bottom, cut the foil. I think you've seen me do that before. It's not super complicated. Just make sure you have really sharp area. Really sharp X-Acto blade. Take your time, because one with all this gallery glass paint, and if the blade's not super sharp, it won't cut, because the stuff's always a little gummy. The thing I really want to talk about now is, so I learned later that none of this paint is very waterproof. Yeah, it's the gallery glass will just slough off. Really kind of like a letdown and a bit annoying. One of the ones I have coming up in the future, soon, talk about it. Yeah, anyway, but I want to keep the frosted look on the where the spray paint is, but then I want the glossy look of the glass paint. What they end up doing on this one is I go through and I clear coat. I use dull coat over the whole thing and spray it, and then I come back over. I have this brush on. It's called the Mod Podge. It's washing machine or dishwasher, but it dries and then it's dishwasher safe, and it also keeps. But then it's high gloss, so where the dull coat was, it paints over to makes it glossy again. That's what I'm trying to say. Getting very late. I'm starting to get very tired. But yeah, that's it. And now you get to watch me make holder for candle. I really changed over the last little while how I do this. First, although this one is neat, I think I ended up giving it 2 candles. But yeah, like at first, like I was using little jars, but they don't fit in all the bottles. So I ended up wrapping it around the candle, and I've since found a better way to wrap it. Also, I think they want to either start, I don't know, figure out different type of candle use with like longer flames, or more with double. But yeah, it's all evolution. Like you learn, once again, you do it and you learn how to do it, and then you revise and make it better as you go along. But yeah, that's about it. This was fun one. I really like these snakes. I've already done a few more. I want to do more lizards and other scaly type creatures. So stay tuned, and we'll come back and you'll get to watch me do, this, but different, more, scaly creatures. Okay. You have a good evening. See you next time. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, and comment. And the bell, click the bell. That's what I'm supposed to tell you now. That's what Mr. Hart drawing at. Okay, well, goodbye. I will see you next time where we do more of this, but different. Goodbye.